Okay, right, so forgiveness and why it's important to your business. The energies on this earth are shifting really rapidly now, and reality is so sensitive to what we think and what we project that it is exactly what we're going to get. And if we are wired to be giving of service of the heart, giving our gifts, whatever they are, to the people that are calling for them, which they definitely are, otherwise you wouldn't have calling in your chest, in your heart. If that is your calling and that is why you're on the planet, then we just can't take heavy emotions and distortions with us into business. It's not happening. It's just like it's like a spanner in the works, spanner in the cogs, but it just stops everything working. So if we have had experiences in the past and we're still angry and blameful, if we're carrying shame about ourselves and unworthiness and all this stuff, these things show up as major blocks in business, in giving the gifts and receiving the money, and in being consistent with your work, and even having clarity so that you can drive your work forward into the world. So where forgiveness comes in and emotional releasing comes in, but we'll keep it to forgiveness just for now. Where forgiveness comes in is that what forgiveness is, it's not about saying to someone what you did's okay and, you know, maybe you'll do that to me again, but I forgive you, so I'm just going to be a sap and be open to that. That's not what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is loving yourself and doing what's right by yourself in any situation, but also relieving yourself of the energies that were created within that situation. So if there was a situation that really fucking hurt your heart and it just shut you way down and it sent you into a dark frequency, a dark place emotionally, and you could have been there for a long time because of this experience, and every time it's mentioned or it's triggered in you, and it will be if you're still carrying the associated frequencies, by which I mean the feelings you had then, if you're still carrying them now, you're still going to attract that as a pattern because you're carrying the frequency of it, and frequency equates to reality. And so when we forgive, we are saying that thing happened and I'm willing to let go of the feelings, the contracted feelings I had at the time. I'm willing to let go of all those feelings so that I no longer have to carry them. And then you'll be given the gifts of wisdom and the gifts of more vitality from the experience that you had, because guess what? The universe is providing you with what you want as a result of that experience. The more darker something is, the more that shadow defines the light. That is to say, it defines what you now want. And what you now want, you now have. The opposite of any unpleasant experience is waiting for us. And the deeper the depth of the darkness, the more exhilarating the experience that we do want is and will be for us. We can't access that new experience. We can't access that new experience if and only if we're holding on to an energy that doesn't allow us to do so. Only if we are vibrating at a frequency that doesn't allow us to accept, see, smell, taste, hear and touch what we do want. What we truly want in our heart is always making its way to us, and that is what we're returning to. That more simpler and more genius way of being as a human being that's our natural right. It's our naturalness. It's not even a right, it's like having a poo. That's not a right, that just happens. And that's the same as your magical power, or your power to create reality. You're using it. Everybody's fucking using it right now. Just most people, unfortunately, or a lot of people, are using it, or having it used for them. And they're unaware of it, but you're aware, and you're using it for yourself. Yeah. So, you know, if we're carrying the contracted energies from an experience we had, and we're still projecting at that other person what we think of what they did and all the stories around it, even if we haven't seen them in years, all we do is we keep attracting experiences like that to us, and we do not allow for the greater, higher experience that's trying to get in. So this is obviously painful for us as well on many levels. So when we forgive, and we choose forgiveness, and we intend forgiveness, and we allow that to happen through emotional releasing or through forgiveness techniques, which we'll go into in the next video, then what happens is that energy starts to dissipate, and you genuinely feel better about what happened. You genuinely feel better. You even can feel vivacious because you overcome that shit, and now you know you can do anything. That's the power of forgiveness. And for a lot of us who are super high sensitives, who are really here to plug in the new world, we can't take heavy energies with us on that path because we're not here to anchor those in. They are literally obstacles. I honour them, but they can be described as obstacles, toxins, and they can be flushed out. And if we want to go where we're going quickly, we flush them out and we get there much faster, because where we want to go is always in here. Another magical gift of forgiveness is that it breaks down your old identity. During times when we have experienced difficult situations with others that have almost instantaneously closed down our hearts and filled us with grief or sadness or pain of the searing kind, then we can take on a story or an image of victimhood. And over time, if we hold on to that story, which is not a bad thing, it's a way of trying to protect ourselves. It's a way we've used when we haven't known our powers to try and protect ourselves by clinging to the fear. And if we cling for a significant amount of time to fear in the story or notion of being a victim, then we begin to identify ourselves as a victim, and we begin to live out a victim-style reality, which is unnecessary. And if we forgive ourselves and the others, we can release those stories and release these identities of victimhood. And this process can be an emotional challenge sometimes, but the rewards are great. The relief is great. The manifestations on the other side are great. The embodiment of your true power is great. So I encourage you to do your forgiveness work, and I guarantee you it will help you to step forward in your business. My name's Celeste White. Visit me online at manifestyourdivinebusiness.com. Be blessed. Namaste.